What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability, get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. Today on the program, I got Ryan Dalton. Ryan Dalton, you've heard that name. No, not that Ryan Dalton. The celebrity boxing Ryan Dalton. The comedy Ryan Dalton. The movie-making Ryan Dalton. Yeah, that Ryan Dalton. You're going to get to know him in the next few minutes, so stick around. This week's shows, I have two public shows. On Friday night, my regular Friday night gig, you know I'm there at least 50 weeks out of the year, 50 Fridays out of the year, at the RAB in Conway, Arkansas. The Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. I'm just pressing buttons. Let me press a button for you. You pick the song. You sing the song. You're the star of the show. They got a full bar, kitchens open, pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday night. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money, I encourage you to check out the RAB in Conway, Arkansas. RAB, R-A-B. It's bar spelled backwards. Aren't they clever? This way, and the letters are backwards. The letter B and the letter R are backwards. So if you look at it in your rearview mirror, it says bar, and you'll be like, "Huh, was there a bar? I must just passed it." Now the cool thing about that is Conway, Arkansas, is in a dry county, Faulkner County. We got a dry county, and we got the alcoholics to prove it. Come on out to the RAB. Always a good time. 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. And then on Saturday in the afternoon, I got a graduation party. Unless you're invited, you can't come to that. But Saturday night, I do have another public show, this time at Spectators Grill and Pub. I know, I was there last week, and I was there about a month ago. And I'm there again Saturday night. I'm stoked. I'm covering again for Ricky Z. He's got something else to do. So he said, "Dan, can you handle it?" And I said, "All right, no problem." And they seemed to like me last week. My goodness, I don't say never. I hardly ever put a tip jar out. But Ricky Z has a tip jar that's just sitting there next to the stage. So I just left it where it was. They filled that thing up, man. You know, all right, yes, the bar pays me, okay. But let me tell you, that is one way to show your entertainer love, is to throw a buck in there. Go ahead, throw a buck. There were some 20s in there. Go ahead, throw 20s in there. No, that's fantastic. I do appreciate the love that they've been showing me over at Spectators, and hopefully I give them a show that they enjoy and that they love. You know, because it takes a little bit to get yourself out of the house and come on out to a club. Fridays are a little bit easier because, you know, most people just get off work and they go out to the club and have some drinks. But Saturday, after, you know, you haven't been working, you got up, you had some breakfast, maybe mowed the lawn, did a bunch of honey-do jobs, and then on Saturday night, you're expected to go out. Yeah, that takes a little bit more effort, and I appreciate that people take the effort to come out to Spectators Grill and Pub. Video dance party, karaoke jam, full bar, kitchens open. Good times. Good people at Spectators. Yeah, I'm excited. And that's 8 p.m. until at least midnight. You know, the first time they said, "Oh, you don't have to go past 11." But the people were having so much fun. I asked the staff, "Is it okay?" "Oh, yeah, you can go to midnight." I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." Sometimes you do it for the love too, you know. It's not, you know, they paid you this amount of time, and you're having a good time too. So do it for the love. Speaking of doing it for the love, this man has his hands in so many pots. He's a good dude, and you're gonna find out what a good dude he is in just a second or two. I got him on Skype. I got Ryan Dalton on Skype. So if you're listening to the audio version, check out the video on my youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Skyping Ryan Dalton now.
Boom!
Oh, look at him. Would you just look at him? It's Ryan Dalton. Oh, I guess I should say it the Roadhouse way. The name is Dalton.
I know. One of the coolest trailers in all the movie history.
You better believe it, man. The excitement is all right over here. Yep. You know, Ryan Dalton, you said, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks back when we were setting this thing up, you said, I'm a comedian and a celebrity boxer and an actor. And, you know, you got to take people at their word, but you're legit, man. You're legit. Yep. I'm looking at your YouTube page. You got, you have a comedy routine there. I think I watched a 17-minute video and a few other videos, little snippets and what have you. And you actually have a video of you with the traditional brick wall behind you.
Oh, yeah, the comic strip,
doing the thing. Give the people an idea of who you are, Ryan Dalton.
Stand-up comedian, who found that he has the gift of gab and loves WWE, loves UFC, loves boxing. So I started taking stand-up comedy and turning it into promos and, tweaking it for some trash talk, but some nice trash talk. And went after a bunch of people at Celebrity Boxing and basically attacked the person I'm going after, being nice about it, not being rude. You got to make everybody else around them laugh except for the guy you're going after. Never use any foul language, not just saying I'm going to kick your ass, nothing like that. But I'm gonna make fun of you, but in a nice way. So everybody thinks like, oh my God, this guy's great, or dude, you really need to beat this guy up. So just being the king of promos on a Celebrity Boxing, and still rocking out the stage. And hosted my own morning radio show for a while, which was a blast. Got to talk to a whole bunch of UFC fighters, WWE wrestlers. So just nerded out on all of them since kind of what I'm obsessed with.
Well, Ryan Dalton, man, there's more than meets the eye. When people say Ryan Dalton, that's such an all-American name, but there's more to you than just a name. What is in a name? For people that are listening to the audio version of this, I encourage you to check out the video version because that lovely man is right there next to me. And, I have a faux background behind me. I'm all green screened out, but you're legit, man. You got like lots of toys and prizes behind you. You have
the horror movie section. Oh no, that's the boxing section over here. So that's got like the medal for my jiu-jitsu, all my UFC collection, the boxing stuff. And then you got the horror movie because I'm a horror buff. So we got the Predator, Scream, Negan. Oh, what are we?
No, hold on a second. I'm gonna take the green screen off. The magic is going to be eluded.
Oh, there we go.
But there's Wonder Woman. Eventually, I'll put them back behind me, kind of like yours. There's Batman. Batman's upside down, and then Superman got stuck to Batman.
Oh, you.
So yeah. So all right, I'm excited. All right, tell the people a little bit more about what's going on behind you. What's going on behind you? Tell the people about that.
So we got like my boxing trunk we got from my fighting boxing trunks. Then we got just Scream Mass autographs that I met a couple of the guys at. Sid Haig from Devil's Rejects. The Collector got from Devil's Rejects. Chris Kattan from House on Haunted Hill. Kane Hodder from Jason X. Yeah, we got our own little horror movie.
Yeah.
And all around the room is other goodies. My favorite football team, the Dolphins. Favorite baseball team, the Blue Jays. And my favorite basketball team, the Jazz. Memorabilia.
Okay. All right. Maybe if you put that camera in front of you, just like standing still, because you keep cutting in and out. But I did get the gist of what you said. I got I'm from Miami, so the Dolphins always make me cry. I'm not even sure if they still have a team. I'm not much of a sports buff. But the other thing about this technology is I got to wait for you to talk, and then you got to wait for me to talk. This way the thing works out just fine. Because if not, I'm stepping all over you. I don't want to step over Ryan Dalton. It's
true. But the Dolphins, they're stacked. Giving you a heads up.
I mean, are they Bob Greasy? Are they stacked up like that? 1972 Dolphins, the winning season, Miami Dolphins #1. I barely remembered. I'm born in '69, so I remember '72 being a big year for the Dolphins. Big year.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Fantastic. Fastest wide receiver. We Waddle, and then now they got lucky on both ends of the ball. We're good to go. So this is the year, I say.
All right. Once again, cutting in and out. If you put that camera sitting right in front of you, if you just put it there in front of you.
Yeah, no, it's not moving.
It's wiggling like you're on one of your TV shows, like you're in the office.
All right, now, oh boy. All right. Let's see what we can do here.
No. You'll get it. You can do it sitting down. I'm sure you'll find a book or something to sit on front of it. I may or may not edit this part. Maybe.
Fair. All right, we're good. It's locked in.
No, you don't have to stand up this whole thing. I want you comfortable. I want you happy. Sit down.
I'm happy as a clam.
Sit down. There he is. He's got that. I guess when you're living in New York, you got 7 billion people like on your block. I remember when I was in Miami, I had at least 1 million people in my city, and you had to be nice or you're going to be dead. And I figure you're all living together. All right. When I was looking at your bio, it kind of threw me a little bit because I thought you might be in California by now. But give the people an idea, where did little Ryan Dalton start out?
Monroe, New York, and then we just moved it to Salisbury Mills, New York. I moved to Jersey for a hot minute because then I was commuting to the city to do comedy shows. But now we got the family, so now we're back in kind of like my hometown area in New York.
In New York. Okay, like in the city proper, or, give me geography a little bit. Give the people a guided tour. If you were on the tourist commission, what is Monroe, New York? What's the good things to do, good things to see?
I would say probably the biggest landmark is the shopping center, the Woodbury Commons. That would probably be the spot that all the tourists go to, and I'm pretty close to there. So I'm about 20 minutes from the legendary spot of the Woodbury Commons.
Woodbury Commons sounds like a mall. Were you a mall rat? Did you hang out in the mall?
Yes, I'm obsessed with shopping. That is true. Video games to movies to man cave knickknacks. That's my spot.
Well, definitely man cave knickknacks. I think we've been through that a little bit, but you're talking my language. Back in '86, when I graduated high school, all through the mid '80s, there was a spot in Fort Lauderdale where I went to school, and we had a video game arcade, a movie theater, and a record store. And let me tell you, I was the DJ in high school. Whenever kids had a party, they would say, "Oh, Dan's got a bunch of records. Let's go to him." But whenever I would park to go to McSugar's, the video game parlor, the guy next door over at the record store would see me coming. He would know, oh, Dan, he buys a lot of records. Come on in, buy some stuff. Now, what are your stores when you're in the Commons, when you're in the shopping mood? What's the places you go?
Well, I mean, sadly, a lot of my stores are closing due to, streaming. So like I used to love FYE. I used to love like Media Play, all those places with the movies, and all those places are shut down because people do the streaming stuff. And I still love the discs. I still buy my Blu-rays. Netflix, I don't even watch it. It's not the same. I want my disc, and it also provides decoration. I have my favorite from 1 to 56 of my favorite movies, and then everywhere else around the man cave is A+ movies. And I don't want it all on my computer. Everyone's like, why don't you go digital? It's ridiculous. It's decoration on top of being a fantastic film.
Well, you're talking about FYE, for your entertainment. I can kind of remember what that was. Before that, I was at Peaches Records and Tower Records, and there was some record stores down in Miami that I would definitely frequent. I'm not sure. the stories have been told to me that Casey of Casey and the Shine Band used to work at one of the record stores down in Miami back in the early 70s, like 71, 72. And people would come in and they would say, do you know that song? It kind of goes like with the guy. And he said people would never be able to, were never able to remember songs. They would kind of remember what the guy looked like, maybe the girl. But so that is why KC, when he started making music, he started making music that repeated. And I know American music a lot of times repeats, but if you listen to KC's song, I'm your boogeyman, I'm your boogeyman, I'm your shake, 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 shake. It's all repetitive. You're not going to be that guy going to that record store going, what's that song by that? Oh, it goes shake, shake, shake. Oh, that's the one. You know, it's a way. But, you know, the kids, all right, I know I'm going to get to be old man. The kids don't have that experience anymore of going to the record store, even the comic book store. I think that's going the way of the dodo. I think they're streaming comics now and you know, records and movies for sure. But, I mean, you're of an age that maybe you kind of grew up with the internet, or were you around before, way back in the 1900s?
No, yeah, no, I was born in '83, so yeah, we definitely had the point where the computer was used for like a stinky video game here and there, never really used for the internet. And then MySpace was just like, holy crap, that's freaking awesome. And then then LimeWire, when you would start, you know, pirating music, but would never steal a movie. Have never stolen a movie. I did buy a bootleg here and there, but on a movie, never downloaded one illegally. I will go to my store and I will purchase it, or I will go to the movie theater. Nothing's better than the movie theater.
Yeah, let me tell you. I mean, Blockbuster Video was the king. Was to hang out there on a Friday and Saturday night. That was the place to be. Even through the week, you know, after work, you go grab a movie. You know, you got your best girl sitting on your arm. Maybe you pick out a movie together. Maybe one time it's a chick flick. Maybe one time it's an action movie. You know, how many times can she watch Lethal Weapon and The Terminator? As many times as I can get her to do it.
Hell yeah. Terminator 2, fantastic.
Oh, he's a man of T2 error. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
when
mean, for rewatch, you got to go T2. Yeah.
Oh, the technology caught up, you know, to what Cameron wanted to do. That whole liquid thing. I think the first time was in The Abyss when they took the water and kind of, yes. And that technology was good enough for The Abyss. And Cameron went, yes. That's what I could do. Liquid metal. Oh, yes. You better believe it. Now, all right. So take me through. All right. So Monroe, New York. It sounds like one of the smaller cities of New York. Is it big? Is it small? Do you know everybody there?
No, I'll say it's medium size. What a medium. But it's about 45 out from New York City. And that's like right. It's a good spot where you don't get that stinginess because I don't like the traffic. Can't do it. It came back city today, went to the Museum of Natural History, took our 5-year-old son, thought he would enjoy it, but I guess he's too young. He kind of hit it with a boring. So he's not there yet to appreciate, but 45 out, you know, if I got a comedy show far away, and yeah, it keeps us still like in a nice like wooded area. We kind of keep it countryside, but we do have that option to shoot off into the city if we need to.
Fantastic. It's the best of both worlds. I'm just out of Conway, Arkansas, just out of Little Rock, Arkansas. I moved here from Miami just to kind of slow things down a little bit. You know, I was the DJ on the beach. Now I'm the karaoke DJ, the wedding DJ, the wedding singer. You know, it's fun. There's different places to be on the entertainment scale, and you're on a whole nother level, man. You look, all right, New York is one of the meccas, one of the places you ought to be. And then, you know, but looking at your bio, you've been all over this great land. Did you start with the comedy, with the DJing, or with the movies? What part were you into when you were in school? Did you get into it when you were in high school?
Yes. So started doing films and stuff. Then we worked with, I worked with a actual movie studio. I wrote a script and they really liked the movie, the script I wrote. So the studio said, we'll back you. It was like Area 51 movie productions. And they're like, we like the script. Well, they're like, if you want to blow up a car, we'll blow up a car for you. Do an action movie. We got blanks. We got the guns. We got the SWAT, everything. This, like, they gave us their whole movie set, which was great. So I got the script all done. Problem was, like, you know, I was young at the time. So I casted like my friends to be in the movie. So, and of course, when you ask them, I'll do it. Yeah, that's great, you know, but they're not actors. This is not what they want to do. So I would come to the studio ready to film. Everybody in the production would be there. And then they're like, where's your actress? Where's the two guys? And I would call them and they're like, oh, dude, no, not good today. We're actually going to the mall, you know, so I can't do it. And I was like, oh, all right, you know. And then I would tell the movie guy, like, yeah, they're going to the mall, so they're not going to do it. And they were like, all right, so they basically dropped us, and it was like we had it, me and my buddy had it, where we should have casted real actors, but everyone was like, dude, put me in your movie. And I'm like, all right, you know, you'll be this and you'll be that. And I like wrote everything out to make it simple for certain people, and I knew some people that were dedicated, and man, talk about that. And then one guy broke a prop gun that they gave us. That cost me $350 to replace the prop gun, you know. So man, what a train wreck. But everything was great up until then. Then I just started focusing on short films. And I started just doing YouTube videos where I would just tell like a funny story just to throw something up in there. And then people were saying you should do stand-up. And I was just like, that would be really cool, but I've never performed in front of an audience. Signed up for an open mic and just got obsessed with it. Been doing it for 14 years. And there was a radio DJ competition, and my wife signed me up for it. I'm telling her, I'm like, I just do stand-up comedy. I cannot do a radio show. I'm like, I don't even know how that would work. And it was a 64 DJ competition, and I ended up winning the competition, and then I got my show, which was awesome, and then fell in love with that. But then when you have kids, it's not easy waking up at 5:45, being gone for X amount of time. So I had to stop that. And then I was trying to find what else can I do, and then got into the fight game. Who would have thought? I mean, I just pick weird, random stuff. My wife thinks I'm nuts, and I do agree with her, because now I'm like getting punched in the face just so I can entertain the masses. But I like getting people back too, so it's kind of cool.
Well, Ryan Dalton, every failure is a learning experience, okay? That first movie that you did right out of the bat, yes, you want to tap on your family, tap on your friends. Those are the people that you can usually count on for what you know, I guess essentially it was a student film. That was you were teaching yourself how to make a film. And
yeah,
the experiences of you getting people, and you need to, especially on an independent film, you have to have people get to the set on time, off book, ready to go, because there's no time and no money for take 2, take 3, take 4, take 45, take 102. No, you got to be on it, man. 1, 2, maybe 3 takes, and you have to get that movie down, and you have a finite amount of time. I'm not really big on the movie business. I'm not sure how to make a movie, but I've talked to enough people on this podcast where I have an idea, especially if you're a director that's making shorts, making music videos. You got to get it all done. Music videos got to be done in one day, you know, and then you have an editing process. Like a short movie, maybe 5 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 5 days. And then maybe a full-length feature, but independent, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month. You know, you have a finite amount of time. Now, this was all in New York. You hadn't gone across to the other side yet?
No, yeah, this was all in New York. I did like 2 small films, and me and my buddy, Rob, who was the star of the movie, and like very Evil Dead-ish. He was very much my Bruce Campbell. And we made like all these little small horror movies, and then we would go to conventions, hand them out to everybody. You know, we were working it every which way. And then one movie company liked it and said, we'll back you, you know, we'll give you what you want. Just, you know, we'll be a part of it. We want to team up. And we wrote a script, and they really liked it. They wanted us to remake a movie called Devil in 60. They wanted us to make it bigger because we could provide so much stuff. So it bigger, and I just made it too big. I mean, the guy's saying he can blow up cars, so of course I'm blowing up like as many cars as I can. That just sounds awesome. But by writing such a big script and just thinking, I just text like a friend, "Are you good for this?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then kaboom! You know, I'd have my main guys with me, and then we need just 2 other people for this scene. You're this other character, and they don't show up, and the movie studio can only do so much when they're like, all right, if you guys aren't even coming, we're not going to open up the doors, and we're not going to have people work for you if you can't even bring these people in. So it was some friendship breaking a little bit, because, you know, these guys said they would do it, then they don't show up. So it's like, come on.
Well, Ryan Dalton, you know, you're working with a studio. This is not your cameras, then your equipment. You have to rely on somebody else's equipment, which is money right there. They could be doing something else. Now, if you had your own video camera, your own equipment, your own crew, that you and maybe a crew is you and possibly your significant other, you know, because once again, you tap on your family and friends, anybody that can hold a camera steady or make sure they can press play, and all you got to do is get in front of the camera and do the thing. An editor, you know, everybody can record their parts over time, and an editor can at the end take all that footage and put it into something. You know, a good editor is who makes the movie, really. You know, as long, you know, the director will give them, you know, all the footage and give them an idea of his or her dream or desire, or how they want it to go. But you're doing it all. You're writing it. You're Robert Rodriguezing it. Okay, you already made mention to the Raimis and the Campbell, who changed my life back in '81 when Evil Dead came out. I was blown away. I might have been a little bit too young to see Evil Dead. Yes, and every incarnation of Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Ash versus Evil. I think he's still doing it. Bruce Campbell's in front of the camera, Ted Raimi's in the back of the camera, and they're still doing it, man. But just that type of movie shooting, Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, Kevin Smith for sure. You know, those guys who take a bet and a chance on themselves, write it, direct it, even star in it, edit it. It becomes your baby. Now, you say you have a couple out there. Are they available to watch? And where do I find them?
Oh, no, they're no, I mean, I own them. I still have them at the house. They were just we made just a bunch of copies that we're handing out to people just to say, like, what we're capable of doing, but with the better backing, it could be so much better. That's kind of what we were handing out. Like, we can write a good script. We have some good actors, and we just need it to look better, you know. And if you want to do team up or something, just watch it. You know, we would just say, if you could just watch it, email us back if you think all of our info in the box and all that stuff. And none of it's like posted or anything. It was just merely handing out, showing what we're capable of, and if they want to link up. And we had the one link up, and and then that's why I started doing stuff, because I didn't have to rely on others. I could just go up and create something up there. It's just me and a microphone, so I wouldn't have any issues of this guy's not good, can't do it. So stand up was, I'll be there, I'm gonna do it. So same with the radio. As long as you gave me a microphone, I'd be able to do it. And on the radio, you would hit up all these actors or UFC guys and everybody. As long as they could promote their stuff, they were right on time. So everybody was good to go. So the radio was awesome. Didn't have to worry about, I don't think the guest is showing up. Everybody always showed up on time. It was money for them because they were promoting. So it was cool.
Ryan Dalton, you're giving me chills, man, because you are old school. You're telling people that you had this movie on tape and you're passing it around like back in the day when a director or a movie studio or an agent or whatever wanted to see what you can do. Your reel was actually on a reel. You had to give them a VHS tape of all the little snippets of what you've done. And nowadays it's all on YouTube. From what I understand, you might even be able to make some money off of these shorts on YouTube. I've already made mention that your YouTube is full of content all about Ryan Dalton. I mean, my goodness, when you said you're a comedian, and no disrespect to anybody in the armed forces, anybody that's working in the sewers, anybody that's working hard, on the daily. Comedy, one of the hardest jobs to do in the whole wide world, in my humble opinion. Here I am, 16, 17 years old. I make my mom drive me to the Miami Improv back in 1984 or 85. I had a bug up my butt thinking, I think I could be a stand-up. I like Steve Martin. I like George Carlin. I think Eddie Murphy's cool. Oh, look at that. Richard Pryor's awesome. Those guys, the big guys. And I say, I put on my orange Hawaiian shirt thinking It's all funny. I put a black tuxedo jacket over the top of that I was probably wearing to a prom, a couple months before, a bow tie. I said, I look like Shecky Green. I'm old school. I'm coming from the 40s. I got the look, but I did not have the material. I think I forgot to write some material. Ryan Dalton, how are you writing material? Or do you have writers or who's the guy telling you the jokes that you tell the other people?
Well, no, a lot of comics who I started out with, started a lot of years ago, they always call me like the comic who's never told a joke, because I don't go up on stage. Either I'm working the crowd and I'm just kind of just improvising, I guess, riffing off like what they're wearing or stuff. All very nice, all very comical, never rude. I don't make fun of anybody. I just kind of give them props, or I just tell just real stories, and I just, got to be like the master storyteller. Got to get you. I act it out. It's basically, I could do a set where it's just one, but as long as it's funny the whole way there, you go. Like starting doing the boxing, like the new thing now, talking about like going to the boxing gym, and I had no idea what I was doing in there, and my expectations going into it, and then the boxing thing, that was my wife made me sign up for boxing lessons, because I was just like, I challenged Celebrity Boxing's light heavyweight champion James Salvi, and the guy's 8-0. I've never fought before in my entire life, ever. I've never fought, and I called him out, and I was watching his videos, and I was recording myself watching his fights, and I would stop it, and I would just say everything he did wrong, because I'm a visual Golden Gloves fighter. I've watched so much, UFC. I play the Fight Night boxing on my Xbox, and I'm filthy. So it's just like, I get it. What I have to do, I just got to punch you. That's it. There's not much behind it. Hit you before you hit me. And I'm like, I really don't need to spend money lessons on telling my wife that. I'm like, let's just save the money and let's go out to eat. And she was like, no, you're taking lessons. I get there. I realize when these guys started hammering me, because I told them, I'm like, my wife's making me do this. I was like, I know how to fight. I get it, So I'm like, if you put me in there with somebody, I'm going to hurt them. And I'm like, I just want to give everybody the heads up. And man, did not every single boxer in that gym line up to see me hurt them, And no, I came home. My ears were black and blue due to them hitting me with hooks and all that stuff. My son said, Dad, why do you look like Rudolph? Because my nose was bright red. And we definitely had a taste of blood in the mouth, and I was completely winded. So it was a mess. And there was one guy who was like he's 18-0, who trains at our boxing gym, and I was just like, why don't you just let me fight him? Like, why are you gonna let me fight somebody who just started? I'm like, let me fight the best guy in the room. It doesn't make sense for me to beat up these guys who don't know what they're doing. I went in so cocky, and it was such a bad idea. And oh man, like I made fun of him. The guy who was 18-0 was named Action Jackson. And this dude was badass. He was chiseled, and he was barking and like growling right before we're waiting for the clock to go to ding for the round. And he's standing in the corner and he's barking and growling. And there's people watching our fight because I'm like, I'm a celebrity boxer. That's what I felt like. I felt like I was so above, So I was like, I'm the celebrity boxer. I'm going to be on pay-per-view. And he's 18-0. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm a celebrity boxer. So it's cool. So he's barking and he's growling. And then because there was an audience, so my inner comic comes out and I start meowing at him. And so I was going like, meow, meow. as he's barking, and then he just stops and he says, "I'm going to effing kill you." And then, he pummeled me into the ring. But it was a good learning experience. That's what it is right there. And now we take training very seriously. And now I know you can't just go in thinking you're just going to whoop everybody because you watch it on DVD. So that's a little helpful tip for anybody who's thinking about getting into the fighting. Training is key. I like to give that to people.
Ryan Dalton, I know that fighting is the latest thing. I do want to keep on picking your brain about the comedy, but I do want to tell you about, all right, growing up, I liked the fighting. I took, when I was a kid, probably not even 10 years old, Goju USA, karate. Yay, I got yellow belt. Okay, later on, Taekwondo. I got another yellow belt. Later on, Muay Thai. There's no belts here. Kickboxing. Oh, you just get kicked. All these Aikido, Hapkido, all these different martial arts. Then in '94, I moved to Orlando and I go to Candyman's gym, and it was a boxing gym. So I learned how to box for about 8 months. If you have to train, man, because there was sparring on Thursday nights. And they'd put you up against people that were better than you on purpose. And so you're going to get knocked out. Yes, you have to train. As with any job, you have to train. 6 minutes at least for a round to get a 3-minute round. Get that wind up. Are you running? Yep. And you sounds like you have a very smart wife. Very smart.
Yes.
If you're going to get hit, Miyagi said, if somebody's throwing a punch, what is it? No be there.
A good idea. That's definitely a good.
But you said Action Jackson. I said, are you fighting Carl Weathers?
I know. And I watched so much Rocky before my first practice. I was so ready to go, thinking, all right, do with Rocky. And I was thinking I was going to go Apollo Creed, and I was trying to dance, throw the jab. That was my first thing. Man, these guys dodged every jab I threw. And I'm like, how do you do that? But because they train it, they train to see what I'm doing. And I thought I'm just going to pop every jab, So now I know it takes a lot more, and it's way more difficult from the first day that I was there. And I bought a Drago shirt. If he dies, he dies. That's what I go in there with. And I just wanted them. I was just trying to scare them right off the bat, thinking like they even. And then I realized now, oh my God, do they even think like, oh God, look at his shirt. I don't want to box him. But that was my mindset going into it. I wear this. Users don't want to spar with me.
You gave me visions of Rocky 3 when Rocky's fighting Thunderlips, played by Hulk Hogan. He said it's an exhibition fight. Oh, don't just take it easy on each other. And bam, Hulk Hogan's picking him up and throwing him out of the ring. It's not an exhibition. There's different kinds of fighters. There's guys that can fight and at the end of the fight give you a hug, or I think George Foreman was the one. When that guy is in front of me, he's my enemy. I don't like him. And then he just knock you out. And I think even Tyson back in the day, his fighting style has changed. And yes, Mike Tyson is still fighting. I can't believe it after all these years. But his original style was, that guy, I'm going to murder him. I'm killing.
Yeah. His kid. Yeah, but me, this kid.
Exactly. And funny, you said something about you watched a lot of Rocky movies to train for this. Well, that leads back to the comedy. Eddie Murphy Raw. One of his bits was, oh, you just saw Rocky. I'm about, hey, I'm going to get some popcorn, hot dog, and this the moolie over here is going to pay for it. What did you say, little white Italian man? Mm-hmm. I remember that so well, man. You cannot watch Rocky to train for a fight. But
no, I realize that. Yeah, I was just stoned. I was trying. Apollo. I always tried to. I went in there thinking I'm Apollo, and I'm just gonna that jab. That jab did nothing. It was such a waste.
All right. Well, take me back to the comedy, man. All right. The top line on your bio is Ryan Dalton is a product of Cleveland, Ohio stand-up comedy.
That is the other Ryan Dalton. There's
what?
Comedian named Ryan Dalton in Ohio, and we've been battling over the names. Trust me, I do want to get him in the celebrity boxing ring just so I could fight for the name, because there's a lot of people who he's told me go to his comedy shows thinking they're going to see me. And then there's people at my comedy shows that think they're going to go see him. So it's like, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, a couple times. He's like, guys are asking me, where's the hat? Because I always wear my multicolored, like, Back to the Future hat. That was like one of my trademarks, and a John Cena shirt. Those are like my stand-up comedy outfits. Never do a comedy show without representing John Cena. That's my dude. And he's like, I had somebody ask me, where's the hat? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, all right. And he was like, and they left when they realized I wasn't you. And he was like, so you cost me tickets. And I was just like, so that guy, me and him, we need to fight for the name. That's for sure. Because we're both doing it and we both got the same name. So it's not cool.
Well, that makes it difficult because I might have been watching him.
No, the other videos you were talking about sound like me. But the thing, that's him. And eventually I'm going to have to get down there. He did perform here at Levity Live, which is a big comedy club down here at the Palisades in New York. And I tried to get there, but my wife let me out. But I didn't get there. And I mean, we should open same show. It should be Ryan Dalton opening for Ryan Dalton. I mean, that would just be cool. 2 Ryans, 1 show. That's what we should do. But,
well, it's working with what Steve Martin is working with Martin Short, and he worked with Martin Mull. So, yeah, I think the name recognition is kind of hey, whatever puts the butts in the buckets. If this is a guy that you can work with, and you have a similar look, except he's clean shaven. So I saw the beard and I went, well, they kind of look alike, a little bit. Maybe that's the same guy. Not the same guy. Not the same guy, but you're equally funny and you're equally talented as well. What's that?
I'll beat him up.
Oh, okay. Challenge. All right. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
Thrown it down right now, and I'll post it on his page. Ryan Dalton, you've been challenged. Get my name back. All right. So throw this on his page at the end of it. So let him know. Let's get in the ring and let me beat you up. Winner gets the name. I'll change my name if I lose.
Okay. All right, I guess. Well, I don't know. Did David Jones and David Bowie have that back in the day? Because David Bowie's real name is Davy Jones, and when he was coming up, Davy Jones from the Monkees already had the name. So Davy Jones, David Bowie had to change his name. I guess he might have won that celebrity fight. Who knows? There's no pictures, there's no video, and there's no count of them ever fighting for the name. But maybe it happened. Maybe it happened.
Alleyway.
I give fuzzy facts here on this podcast.
Like that.
So maybe some of the stuff that I looked up on you is not correct. But I'm glad that I'm getting a little idea of who you are, Ryan Dalton from New York. But yeah, but have you ever tried comedy anyplace else? Because from what I understand, when I'm listening to comedians on podcasts, New York comedy, Boston comedy, Jersey comedy, and then West Coast comedy, and even into the Midwest, or if you go to Vegas at all, where have you taken this comedy thing on the road at all?
Yeah, did the Atlantic City. I've done that. Did a Philly. Did a Philly show and did 1 show in Florida when we were down there. We just hit up a mic, so rocked that out. Atlantic City, that's like the new place. That's where all my fights have been for celebrity boxing. So that's been easy to get on a show over there. So we're kind of all over on the east side. I've yet to dabble in the west, but that's bound to happen, I'm sure.
Hey, there's plenty of things to do on the and see on the east side, and I'm glad you made it into Miami. I don't know. Were you at the Improv?
No, I don't. Oh man, where was I on that? No, it was just like an open mic, and I just went there and just gave people some giggles. I just hooked them up. I don't recall. It wasn't a legit comedy club. It was a place that was doing comedy night. So I jumped on and did a couple minutes, and just tickled them, tickled their ears. What I do.
Yeah, I think I just heard a podcast with a couple of comedians talking, and they were talking about, hey, those shows where you're not even at a comedy club, you're at a comedy night. It's you can look at the menu as you're walking in the door. Salsa Monday, blues on Tuesday, Wednesday is karaoke, and Thursday is comedy night.
That's true.
And here you are.
Always Thursday. It is always Thursday. That's
Here you are walking in, man, doing your thing. Now, are you writing routines out? You said you're a storyteller more than more than anything else, but you do a lot of crowd work, and you said that you're not mean to people when you do crowd work. This is almost unheard of. Most of the time, if you're sitting in the front row at a comedy show, you got to expect to be picked on, especially if you're wearing a shirt that's kind of funny, or if you have, hey, maybe you got a big nose, maybe you got, a fat head like me, you expect to be picked on a little bit. Or if you got a fat head and you're sitting next to a fine wife and you went, "Ooh, outkicked your coverage, didn't you?" There's something, but you're not picking on people like that. Are you saying to people, "Hey, your mother is a very lovely lady"?
You would think, no, I do. That's how I met my wife. I met my wife at a comedy show, and the whole show, when she walked in, she, gave me the googly eyes, and I changed up my whole routine and basically did a whole 10 minutes on how hot she was, but made it so ridiculous. I asked her what she do for a living. She said she was a teacher, and then I said I wouldn't mind giving her some after-school detention. Then I said, I wouldn't mind. She hates it, and she didn't want to give me her number. I apologized to her after the show because everybody else was laughing, but all I was doing was complimenting how hot she was. I told her downstairs I had a 12-inch ruler. If she was in detention, I would hit her with it a couple times. It was rude. It was rude, but it was funny. And then I said I would want to. I mean, it's rude. I don't like talking about it now, but at the moment, I said, I'd want to open up her legs like a textbook. It was very rude, but it was also complimenting on how beautiful she is. So she did not like it, but everybody else around it liked it. She got red face and all that stuff. But then after the show, I apologized, but I just had to tell her that, you took over. You walked in and it was a slow motion. I mean, it was slow motion. It was like your Pretty Woman playing. So I was just like, I'm sorry, I had to change it up. And I made the whole show about you. And eventually, a week later, she came to another show, and I got her number. And boom, we're married with 2 kids. So it worked.
Make them laugh, make them laugh, make them laugh. Hey, I don't sing, I don't dance. Make them laugh, make them laugh. It's a thing, man. And a girl... All right, she's being coy. Girls like guys that look good. Girls like guys that are smart, that have a good job, that have a steady paycheck coming in. But whenever you ask a girl, what are you looking for in a man? Oh, I just want a guy that's funny, that makes me laugh. That's their standard answer. There's some truth to it, but it's this. You've picked a hard road. If this is your job, if this is what you want to be when you grow up, you want to be a stand-up comic and make the money that way. It's a hustle. It's an artist, and the word starving comes in front of artist. It's a hustle, man. But I see you put your hand in a lot of different pots. I'm not just a DJ. I'm not just a podcaster. I'm not just I don't just do this. I don't just do that. I put my hand in a lot of different pots because this is a hustle, man. The entertainment business, the money can be good, but the work is not steady. How have you fared through it?
It's been good. I mean, I just try to find all different ways to entertain, from again to the boxing. I'm like, oh man, people are loving the promos, so let's just do promos. Oh man, but it sucks. I actually have to fight at the end of these things. Like the boxing, it sucks. Boxing sucks. I mean, it hurts. The press conferences are so much fun. The promos are fantastic. The face-offs are amazing. I get to push them, and then they give me a microphone, and then I get to talk about how bad I'm going to beat them up in all funny, creative ways. And then walk into the ring. It's fantastic. I get to hear my favorite song. It's so cool. And then the ring guy says my name. I love it. I play to the fans, and then the bell rings. Then it's not so much fun, but after the bell rings, because I'm 1-1, so I did take a win, and I did take a win in my jiu-jitsu competition.
Yes.
So after you do get that win, oh man, there ain't no stopping you. That's why nobody wants to fight me, because I'm like the loudest mouth in celebrity boxing. Because if anybody wants, they all think they could beat me up, but for the chance that I win, they know they're never going to hear the end of it, which they won't. And they know they're just going to become the butt of every joke. So the reason why I'm having problems finding opponents right now, because everybody knows I'm like the best promo cutter, and on top of it, I make you look silly, And oh man, I'll flood the Facebook with nonstop promos, all creative. I add movie clips into all my stuff. It's and then they can't battle back because they don't know what to say. They're not good like that. So nobody wants to fight me because they're going to look silly. They hope they beat me, but if they don't, it is going to be so bad because they give me a microphone. Even after I lose, they give me a microphone. I'm the only one that gets a microphone after he loses because I know I'm going to entertain him regardless that I'm spitting up blood, and I will still work to the audience, you know. So whatever it takes, you know. I'm more focused on the audience boxing and looking for cool moves than my opponent. I'm more focused on the audience having a good time than fighting my opponent. I mean, that's my coach says that's ass backwards, you know, but that's just my mindset, you know. Like, I go for the fake hand touch. I try to put my hand out there so they tap it, you know, the respect, and I cheap shot them because I know everybody's going to boo, you know. And I heard one guy like curse me out in the front row, and I was like, this guy must be a friend of mine that I didn't know was coming because he is saying really mean stuff. And it was just some random dude, you know. And I was like, man. So, but that's fantastic. I got under his skin so bad. I don't even know who you are. And everyone was just booing me out of the building. And it was fantastic, you know, because I was dancing and then cheap shotting. And then I'm waving to the audience while I'm in the fight. You know, it's like, you know, because I want them to have a great time. That's what it's all about. It's, you know, I'm more focused on the audience than the opponent. I got to focus more on my opponent.
Well, you're talking about late hits, man. That's your wrestling persona that comes out. You know, when I'm a one-time independent wrestling zone announcer down in South Florida. They had the IWZ. Their big guy was Bruce Santini. He had purple Speedos on. And then they had the Iron Sheik. Nope, not that Iron Sheik. That one passed away. There's another guy that took the persona, asked the family if he could have the Iron Sheik, somewhat like Ryan Dalton. You're going to have to ask him for the name, that kind of thing. So he was the Iron Sheik, and he had a spike. And I remember when I was in the ring announcing, and on this corner, in this corner, and then I got hit in the back. Oh, yeah, Tito Puente Jr. was wrestling as well. Funny, what? Yeah. So celebrity wrestling, celebrity boxing, it all goes hand in hand. But I remember they hit me in the back with a chair, and I had to say, "I got to get out of here." And I got out, and I got out of the ring. It's pretty funny, man. But
out of the ring, I don't blame you for that.
It's all entertainment, though. You're talking about, you know, when I'm doing a show, when I'm setting up for the gig, that's the worst part. You know, setting up the equipment and tearing down the equipment. Once you're in the show, it's great. Everything coming up to the show was great. Everybody screaming, Dalton, Ryan, Dalton. Yeah. You're doing the Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, you know, the Randy Savage, you know, doing all that, man. But and then you get hit in the face.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Back to life, back to reality.
I mean, I hit him just as good. I guess it's in there, but, you know, every time I hit, I'm just like, damn. I mean, that's just, you know, my corner guys telling me this, that. I'm like, you don't know. Okay, so don't tell me nothing because you don't know what you're doing, you know. I get it. Don't get hit again. I know, trust me. But again, 1-1, we're getting a lot better. We're getting. I've been knocked down, never knocked out, you know, so knocked down once in the 2 fights. The 3rd fight, the guy got fired 2 weeks beforehand, the actual fight. And of course, I mean, they're saying there was issues there, but I'm going to use it as that guy was scared. He didn't want to get in there with me. So they can come up with any reason. It's obviously he found a way out because he didn't want none of this, and I don't blame him. So, I call it NyQuil. You know, you got to call it NyQuil. 2 doses, you go right out, you know. And or bedtime stories, you know, if I read it to you, it's nighty night. So, and you can pick whatever book you want me to read to you. That's fine. You want the left, you want the right, I'll read both of them to you. So it's it's cool. I think, you know, I'm definitely getting better, and then people are seeing it. They don't want to be the butt of the joke, so they don't want to fight me, and it's cool because I really don't want to fight them at the same time.
Well, Ryan Dalton, it's good. You're letting me know that you're giving names to your hands. I talked to a couple of celebrity boxers. You know who they are over the last over the last month or so. They have different training styles. One of the celebrity boxers called it lefty and righty. Really? That's so unimaginative. Oh, so uncreative. You know, you're calling it bedtime stories. I've heard thunder and lightning, piss and vinegar. You know, the different names for just to have some fun with it, because after all, it's entertainment. Yeah, you're trying to get a payday. You know, you may or may not be, getting have a purse involved. I'm sure you better be getting paid for this. Yeah, but
we get paid nice for fighting for 3 minutes. Hopefully I can get rid of them a little bit quicker than that. Or, it's like a minute and a half rounds. There's 3 rounds. I think if you get the championship fight, it goes longer. But I do want a championship fight. I really want a belt because I got an spot in the man cave, and I want to put a belt there. That's really, again, once I get the belt, I'll be pretty much done with celebrity boxing. I just want that belt, I just want to walk around with it and flaunt it, just so all the other boxers get angry. And it'll just increase the promos.
Well, I did talk to a man who has a belt. Do you have to fight him to get that belt?
I saw you had Hazel Roche on the show, and he's been ducking me. That's been well known because I went after him pretty thoroughly and did a lot of videos attacking him. And then once I think he realized he tried to shoot a video back at me. I don't think I think people are like, then all of a sudden he doesn't want to fight me because he can't match it. And then I was just dogging him the entire time. We did a press conference. I went after him. I said, if Hazel can maybe grow a pair of hazelnuts, maybe brew himself a cup of coffee and get himself in the ring. Let's see what happens. All of a sudden, I don't want to fight Ryan, and then he's coming up with excuses. So, I said he's playing a game of hide and go seek, but I do have 2 kids, and just like them, I will find you. So, I'll catch him. But if he's going to hide my kid, there's not that many closets in the house. So we'll get you.
Ryan Dalton, you're letting me know that your persona for the fight talk is a whole lot meaner than that talk that you were talking about with the crowd talk. You said you were a nice guy when you're talking to your comedy crowd, but when you're giving the jabs, trying to get inside the other fighter's head, maybe you don't pull that many punches, verbally speaking.
No, I'm a jerk to the boxers, and I'm a jerk to the crowd. It is. The crowd loves me. The fighters hate me. That's perfect. That's great. I got to beat them up, but I want the crowd to enjoy my beating. So I'm going to try to make it as flashy and cool as I can. I want the crowd to count to 10 with me as my guy's laying on the floor. So, we do pack a punch. I gave my sparring partner a bloody nose. Talk about it. I've never felt so good. I walked into this house like I was the king from Game of Thrones. And my wife was like, please stop. And I was just like, do you need anything? And, we have a security system. And I told my wife, I was like, you know what? Don't even put it on today. And she was like, why? We always go to bed with it on. I'm like, because I gave the dude a bloody nose. I'm the alarm system now, baby, and she put on the alarm system. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. So, my wife she's badass, but the alarm system went on even though.
No, it's nice to be married, man, because they will bring you back to earth. Right. I can do a show in front of 8,000 people, 80,000 people, and I will come home. The wife will tell me, hey, take out the garbage.
And I'm like, what? Did you see what I did?
They just told me I had 8,000 people in front of me saying, you were awesome. You were the best. You were fantastic. And then come home and, the washer, the disposals stopped up. Can you fix that, Mr. Best?
Sure, that's true. Yeah, no, I've done that many times. I just recently cleaned out the washer, and it's like, I'm going to be fighting on pay-per-view in August. Why am I cleaning the dishwasher?
Yeah. Back to life.
Happy wife, happy life. That is.
Back to reality. They keep you grounded, man. It's nice that you have that. You got a good family life. You got the kids. How the kids doing? You said one was 5 years old?
5 and 1. And the 1-year-old girl, Leah, she's the bruiser. She's the bruiser. if the 5-year-old, my son Evan, Leah, no problem whacking him on the shoulder and saying no. She's becoming the boss of the house. They're two boss babies, just like that Pixar movie. So they're definitely the rulers of the house. So, and we just bought my son a little punching bag, so he's learning now. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Well, I don't know when people are going to be listening to this, but you got a fight coming up. I'm going to put this up in the next day or two. You got a fight coming up. When is that fight?
August 27th. I was supposed to fight on the last card, and the guy got fired due to fear. And, you can't blame him on that. Fear was a factor for him. And, he bailed out. And, again, no one blames him. No one wants to get beat up. That's not something they look forward to. But August, I'm back in action, back in Atlantic City. And then, we got comedy shows all throughout. So, and DTV Presents on YouTube. If you want to see your recent call-outs, I've called out James Lights Out Tony, who's a former heavyweight boxing champion. He agreed. We got to see if I might be fighting him. He says he don't play boxing and think my challenge, but I said I rethought it and I would love to beat you up. So definitely come through. I said I'm Ryan Lights on Dalton. So me being a power generator, you cannot turn my lights off. So all right, set that up. But we're going to have to see how much money that man wants for me to kick his ass. So we'll see.
Well, and this is all contracts. This is all celebrity boxing. There's an actual corporation that helps you to set up these fights, and they make sure that everybody has the right deal, and they take care of you guys as well.
Yep, that's all celebrity boxing, the official celebrity boxing. Damon Feldman runs it. And they got a fight on June 11th in Florida that's going down. I have to sign contracts. I have to show everything that I do to them, since technically I'm under the celebrity boxing umbrella. So I have to show them my call outs since I'm representing them. And they have to okay it for me to shoot it over people. But again, I'm never rude. So it's just friendly call outs. But I am making you look silly if you say no to it. Because Rashad Evans, who's on UFC, he's refereeing for June 11th. And I told him, I'm like, and I sent him a video, and I said, like, Rashad, you're a former UFC light heavyweight champion. Do you really just want to wear like a Foot Locker jersey and just like count to 10? Or do you want to show people that you're still man enough, that you're still able to do it? And if you want to get in the ring, why don't you get in the ring with like someone who's a real Ultimate Fighter like myself? And his nickname is Sugar. So I just said, I love sugar cookies, and trust me, I'll eat a couple before I beat you, and I'm gonna eat a couple after I beat you. So I was just like, by all means, if you want to do it, I'll wave you home into the fighting business like a third base coach. I'm gonna wave you home, unless you just want to count to 10. So, for anybody who's like, dude, you got to get in there and fight him. You can't let that guy talk to you like that. I said nothing rude, but at the same time, he's gonna have to say, I don't want to fight you. I'd rather count to 10. Like that just puts me on a pedestal. Because you don't even want to fight me. You rather just wear your little jersey and count to 10 because you're scared of me. That's what it is. So it is pretty cool. I am the modern Freddy Krueger. I give them night. So.
Well, growing up, I've enjoyed watching fights my whole life. Being in a family of the men in my life, my grandfather, my brother, that we've always liked watching fights. From Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, George Foreman for sure. All the greats and even the ones that are haven't been quite as great. That they were great for a second and then they went away. But celebrity boxing sounds like a whole lot of fun. I don't have a lot of experience watching celebrity boxing. I thought celebrity boxing was what they had on MTV when they had those cartoons. Chris Rock versus Will Smith, with a cartoon, and they're fighting against each other, But no, I didn't realize celebrity boxing was a real thing. And here it's sanctioned by at least the celebrity boxing corporation, I suppose. But that's fantastic, man. I'm excited I'm excited to see the one on June 11th because my friend Jaquan Feliciano, I've known him from Miami. He's been in my radio studio. We've talked. We've done shows together. And then Hazel fantastic guy. He's a man of the community. He takes what money he makes, breaks it off for his community. So these are guys that are community oriented, that really care, and it turns out they kind of like each other, but they're going to beat each other up on.
Yeah, because I think Hazel thinks she can beat him. He doesn't think she can beat me, hence why he's running. But he's dodging me like a dodgeball. He doesn't want to get by it because he knows he's out of the game. So that's on Hazel. But eventually, I'm going to catch him. He can only run so many times. And me even him at one of the press conferences, they had that punching bag machine. Punch it, and it's a ding 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 ding, and it tells you how much. Dude, I beat him like 200 points. I punched 200 points harder than him. And trust me, after that, all of a sudden, Hazel tells me his shoulder's been bothering him. Okay. No. It's because I hit like a beast and you hit like a little boy. So I told him when he wants to take off his swimmies, by all means, come jump into the big boy into the pool, and, I promise I won't drown you. I will gladly help you out of the pool when I see that you're flailing and you need help. So,
well, Ryan Dalton, you are Ivan Drago, Rocky IV. One of the training methods that the Russians had was him punching on that bag, and it was like going. Rocky would punch, and it would be like 600, and then 1,000, 2,000. It's just ridiculous numbers on pounds per square inch that would come out of this man's hand. Now, back in the day, Ivan Drago, Dolph Lundgren. He's a bad mofo for sure. Yeah, he is He-Man, master of the universe.
He-Man.
But no, man, I appreciate the celebrity boxing. I'm looking forward to seeing your fight. Hopefully, I can find that pay-per-view and pay-per-view it.
Or Fight TV on all the apps. It's on all the apps. My wife found it, ordered it, and she recorded my son saying, "Hi, Dad," while I was doing the weigh-ins. So just hearing my son talk to the TV and saying, "Hi, Dad," definitely warmed up the heart as I was doing the weigh-ins against my opponent. So that was so cool. So,
that's a memory that he's going to have for the rest of his life. Whatever he does, whatever he endeavors to be, like, scientist, doctor, lawyer, whatever, anything he wants to be, he'll always have that memory of watching his dad on TV. Now, okay, your comedy, as we wind this thing down, where can people find you? Are you working out every week? Do you have a comedy store? What's the equivalent over there in New York?
Yeah, I mean, with open mics, it's kind of like whatever night free, and I get always on all these Facebook, so they always post like open mic tonight, comedy show here, come through here. So it's kind of sporadic. I kind of just, depending are the kids going to sleep early? Does my wife have work the next day? I'll jump over there, do a couple minutes. But the 27th, it's all over the Facebook, my Instagram, all that stuff. Got a show, and we'll be everywhere. DTVPRESENTS.com on YouTube. That's the spot to check, and I keep everybody updated. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to promote it, I will. Comedy Night, Friday, May 27th, 246 Walsh Avenue, New Windsor, New York. Check it out. Admission's $35. You're going to get Larry DiGregorio, Johnny Rizzo, and Ryan Dalton. Now, okay, the under thing, Larry DiGregorio, Comedy Cabana, Johnny Rizzo, the Borgata, and then Ryan Dalton, Celebrity Boxing.
That's true.
Well, that's your nom de plume right now, man.
Yeah.
Now, hey, so that are you? Hey, I implore you, put that movie on YouTube.
I should
put it out there. Get those hits. Maybe YouTube will pay you a little bit. Maybe they won't. But maybe some big time director, maybe some movie producer will say that Ryan Dalton. He's got something. He's got something. All right.
Not hiring friends, not doing it. So,
well, Ryan Dalton, on this side, as little as my opinion counts, you've got something, man. You've got something. I've had a blast talking to you, finding out a little bit more about you. I'm sure my listener is thinking the same thing. That dude's got something. He's got the gift of gab. He's entertaining. He's fun. And I want to know more about Ryan Dalton. Where can they find you online? And if they want to slide into your DMs, not for loving, he's married, but if they want to slide into your DMs, what kind of collaborations are you up for?
I'm up for everything. Again, I get punched in the face. So we're literally up for everything. And yeah, DTV Presents YouTube and Ryan Dalton. Find me on Facebook. You know, we friend everybody. We talk to everybody. So
is that it? Just the Ryan.Dalton one on Facebook? That's the only place to find you?
And on DTV Presents on YouTube. I mean, I got stuff on like Twitter and Instagram, but those I'm just starting those out. So they're not even that big yet. But I'm just kind of just testing those out. I think I'm Real Deal Dalton on Instagram. I think. I don't even remember. That's so much. I don't really go on those that much. But Real Deal Dalton, write that somewhere. It'll pop up.
Well, send me those links so I can put them in the show notes. People got to know. People got to know Ryan Dalton.
Ooh, they do. Yeah. Right. No, TikTok is getting pretty good because all my promos go on there. It's been going pretty good.
All right. If you got any shout outs to give to people as we wind this thing down, people that have helped you along the way, because we cannot do this all by ourselves. We can only get to some level, and then we need help. Give the shout outs to some people, and then we'll give some last words.
Okay. The shout outs to the wife, of course. She's the best. Kelly. That's my girl. She always guides me in the right direction. Matt Hughes from UFC. He was my one guy who always texts. A UFC Hall of Famer will always write me back and give me workout tips, which is so cool. And Johnny Brennan, who is Frank Rizzo from Jerky Boys, he's also a guy that I'll reach out to for some comedy goodness, and he helps me out too. So those are my boys. So.
Frank Rizzo. Oh my goodness, Jerky Boys. I had those tapes. I played him in the quad in high school.
Yeah, no, he's the nicest dude. He's gave me his movie on DVD, which you can't get, autographed it, gave me a whole bunch of stuff, came to the radio station. I said, you could call in. He's like, why don't I just swing by? And I'm like, amazing. So he did a call for my brother for Christmas where he was Frank Rizzo calling my brother a jackass, and it was fantastic. So I couldn't ask for a nicer guy. So he's been great. Yeah, everybody's been great. Everybody helps everybody in the Hudson Valley comedy scene.
I'm going to come over there and bring all my glasses and all my shoes.
Yeah. Oh, man, he's great. It's fantastic.
All right, man. As I like to wind these things down with last words for the people. It could be words to live by. It could be something you heard a long time ago. It could be a mantra you wake up with every morning, or just whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. And I don't want this to be the last time that we talk, Ryan Dalton. As time progresses, you come on back. But Ryan Dalton, give the last words for the people.
Boredom is a disease, and I'm the cure. That's what I always like to be. So,
man, there you have it, Ryan Dalton. What a good dude. That man, gift of gab, but fun, entertaining, has just a thirst to entertain the people. And he'll do. Comedy is ridiculously hard. And I hope that I get to see that movie that he made as well. But the boxing, yeah, I've been boxing a little bit. I did it in my 20s, okay? I was a younger man in much better shape. And getting hit in the face or in the body or in the gut, it's no fun. It's no fun. Even doing the several martial arts that I got to yellow belt. I got a lot of yellow belts, figuratively and maybe literally. I might have at least one in my closet still, which means, anybody that knows martial arts, I didn't get very far. The paying $50 to get a belt, I'm a cheapo. But I learned a little bit, just enough to be a danger to myself. Martial arts and the boxing. Hey, the boxing, I went long. I went about 8 months on that. Candyman's gym in Orlando, Florida. And I don't even know if it's still there. I know Chris was the guy that ran it. He said he called himself the Candyman. But, he was training me a little bit. Had me hitting the heavy bag, going into the ring and sparring a little bit. Sparring against other people that were there. I was there just to exercise, get myself in shape. And I still like hitting the heavy bag. I've had a heavy bag throughout the years, on and off. I don't have one now. But I know in the apartments that I was in and some of the places that I was staying, I'd put up a little heavy bag. And especially if I'm watching a fight, I'd be punching on that bag. Pow, pow, pow. Just getting into it, getting my adrenaline up and feeling the people that are fighting. Even watching Rocky, I'd be fighting, hitting the heavy bag, getting some exercise while you're watching a show. But yeah, I appreciate knowing Ryan Dalton. I appreciate you being on the podcast, Ryan Dalton. Oh, man, I look forward to talking to you again and hearing more about you and more from you. And I know your comedy is, man, it's good. It's good. Storytelling, crowd working. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of guts, and a lot of skill to be a comedian. To get hit in the face, maybe not so much. I'm sure there's a skill. No, any boxers that are listening, please don't come at me. I know that there's a lot of thought that gets put into each and every punch. I know Mike Tyson, well, I don't know if it was Mike Tyson that said it, but Eddie Murphy as Mike Tyson said, I'll design a punch that'll make your liver bleed. I thought that was hilarious. All right, Ryan Dalton, thanks again for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, yes, you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. I'm the last guy on AOL. That's it for me. It's keysdan@radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.